Training session on welding, cutting and other hot work. Introduction. Hot work is defined by the NFPA 51B standard for fire prevention during welding, cutting, and other hot work, as work involving burning, welding, or a similar operation that is able of starting fires or explosions. Hot work types: cutting, welding, grinding, thawing pipes, powder-driven fastener, hot riveting. Cutting. Cutting is also hot work operation that produce sparks. Special safety precautions are necessary to perform cutting work. Welding. Welding is also hot work that use electric arc as the heat source for melting and joining metals. Argon welding. Argon arc welding, also known as inert gas welding. Argon is used as shielding gas to keep air out of a welding arc. Fusion welding. Fusion welding is process which rely on melting to join materials of similar composition. Due to high temperature phase flux built into these process, a heat affected zone is created in the material. A mechanical process using rotating grinding wheel, rotate around central axis, making contact with the surface of workpiece, grinding wheel made from abrasive M material. Oxyfuel gas cutting welding. Gas welding. Oxyfuel gas welding (OFW) uses the heat of combustion of a fuel gas and oxygen flame, at high temperatures, to melt the workpiece base metal and filler metal. WEING torch. Hot vulcanizing. In this process uses O2, heating plates and O1 pressure plate. When the heating plate temperature is reached to 145 C°, then joining of rubber edges are being vulcanized. Hot work fires are preventable. Need to establish hot work fire prevention guidelines. These guidelines are simple as taking following precautions. 1. Implement hot work permit system. 2. Using alternative method to hot work if possible. 3. Relocating the hot work. 4. Properly isolating a welding operation with listed approved welding curtains and blankets. 5. Wearing proper fire resistive clothing to prevent personal injury. 6. Clear the area where hot work will be carried out. 7. Carry out hot work in a designated or prepared area. 8. Ensure those carrying out hot work are trained to do so. 9. Monitor gas or vapor in the area being used for hot work. 10. Make sure that all appropriate personal protective devices are available at the site and each worker has been trained on how to use, clean, and store them properly. 11. Inspect the work area thoroughly before starting. Look for combustible materials in structures, partitions, walls, ceilings. 12. Move all flammable and combustible materials away from the work area. 13. If combustibles cannot be moved, cover them with fire-resistant blankets or shields. Protect gas lines and equipment from falling sparks, hot materials, and objects. 14. Sweep clean any combustible materials on floors around the work zone. Combustible floors must be kept wet with water or covered with fire-resistant blankets or damp sand. 15. Cover wall or ceiling surfaces with a fire-resistant and heat-insulating material to prevent ignition and accumulation of heat. 16. Vacuum away combustible debris from inside ventilation or other service duct openings to prevent ignition. Seal any cracks in ducts. Prevent sparks from entering into the ductwork. Cover duct openings with a fire-resistant barrier and inspect the ducts after work has concluded. 17. Remove any spilled grease, oil, or other combustible liquid. 18. Secure, isolate, and vent pressurized vessels, piping and equipment as needed before beginning hot work. 19. Eliminate explosive atmospheres, e.g., vapors or combustible dust, or do not allow hot work. Shut down any process that produces combustible atmospheres, and continuously monitor the area for accumulation of combustible gases before, during, and after hot work. Responsibility of fire watcher. Responsibility of fire watcher. 1. Fire watcher must be competent and mentally, physically fit person. 2. Constantly present at areas where hot work is being performed, maintaining vigilance of potential fires. 3. Being familiar with facilities and procedures for sounding an alarm in the event of a fire and having a means of notifying emergency services. 4. Having fire extinguishing equipment readily available and being well trained in its use. 5. Never leaving the job site while the work is being done. 6. Make sure that appropriate fire extinguishers are available and easily accessible. Responsibility of fire watcher. 8. Ensure the 35 feet area in radius is free from any combustible and flammable material. 9. Maintaining the conditions and requirements stated on the safety permit. 10. Inspecting the entire work area to look for potential release of flammable vapors or liquids before, during, and at the end of each shift. 11. Post a trained fire watcher within the work area, including lower levels if sparks or slag may fall during welding, including during breaks, and for at least 30 minutes after work has stopped. Depending on the work done, after the end of the hot work until fire hazards no longer exist.